afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Just Parlays with Chris King. I am your host, Scott Steehn. I am the lead handicapper at WHINERS.com. I'm joined, as always, by the man in the Buffalo Bills cap, one the only Chris King. What's up, buddy?
Not much. What's up with you, Scott? I know. Hopefully, you had a good time at that concert last night. Better than watching basketball.
I did. I went to see a country band, a red dirt band out of Austin called Reckless Kelly. One of my favorites. Have been around for a while. I see them every time they come to town. And I missed one horrible basketball game and one bad basketball game that didn't go the way we wanted. Fourth quarter, Miami got a little hot from beyond the arc, huh, buddy?
Well, you mean Milwaukee?
I mean Milwaukee. Sorry, Miami. Yeah, Milwaukee. Sorry.
Yeah, Milwaukee got hot, and Boston. They still had their chances, but they blew opportunities. Marcus Smart got stuffed twice in the last couple of possessions with the game and hanging in the balance. And that we talked about it yesterday. That Milwaukee plays good defense when it comes playoff time, and they couldn't have picked a better time than the end of Game 5 to exhibit that, because they had long stretches of that game where they weren't playing defense.
Right.
And they're down 11 after 3 quarters. And like you said when we were talking before, Boston had them on the ropes. And to quote Dennis Green, we had them where we wanted, and we let them off the hook.
Well, I couldn't quite thread the needle. I told you I liked Milwaukee with the points, but I thought Boston would win outright. They tried to make that come true, but couldn't quite get home. So, unknown entities here. He was early. My goodness, look at you. What's going on? And unknown entity. It's not Jim. My God. Come on, buddy. I am not an unknown entity. You know me. Michael Dost in the house. He's liking the Pirates, the Mets, the Bruins, the Lightning, and the Oilers today.
Don't talk about the Lightning around here. I want to hear about Tampa Bay. I don't talk about that series because of the fact that I have a rooting interest in it. So that's why I've stayed away from that series when it comes to talking about games, because the worst thing you can do from a betting perspective is bet on a team that you actually like.
Very true. Very true. That's why I fade the Royals constantly.
And they won yesterday after you faded them.
Yeah, they did. Lex Steele, referring to you as Buffalo Wings. I like that.
Yeah, like I told Lex before, if you ever call them Buffalo Wings in Buffalo, you'll be a dead man. You won't make it out of the airport.
I went to the Anchor Bar when I was in Buffalo, and I found it incredibly overrated. Sorry.
Well, I mean, the Anchor Bar is where they started, but there's a lot of places that do probably better wings than them now. Bar Bill Tavern is really good in East Aurora. A lot of people like Duff's. Lenova is good.
Yeah, Duff's is a big one. It's always Duff's or Anchor Bar, right?
Yeah, those are the two that people talk about the most. But Bar Bill Tavern is really good.
Yeah, very good. There's a place in Kansas City that does like the whole wing with the other part attached.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You all right?
Yeah, just sneezing.
You're allergic to Milwaukee threes?
That's it.
All right.
They screwed me over, so.
Do you have a mute button on your headset?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Yeah, that'd be a good time to find that. Just saying. Hey, welcome aboard, everybody. It's the show. It's Thursday. You know the drill. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to both of our YouTube channels, the Winners and Whiners channel and the Max Wagers Network channel. If you want even more of either one of us knuckleheads, we got our premium plays available. They are in the comment section or the description of the video. So make sure you check those out as well. Follow the links. And yeah, Chris, you kind of paid the price yesterday for having a gigantic Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, everything. That's the way it goes. You have one good day, then you got to have a couple to even it out just to make things difficult. It's not fun from a perspective of, trying to help everybody with putting together games, but nobody expected Golden State to put up what had to be one of the worst basketball performances I've seen in recent history. Anyway,
down 55 late in the third quarter, end up losing by 39 as Milwaukee. Or guys, what is it? Is just I'm having a bad time with the M words today, Chris. As Memphis just cleared the bench. Just
Yeah, I
we looked
mean
at that.
the water boy and the towel boy, I think, suited up too.
Each had 12 minutes. You and I looked at it before the show. Literally, everyone on the bench played, and nobody had less than 12 minutes.
Yep.
Just a clearing. Lex says he knows he's a demand, but he'll still try it. But I just say buffalo wings are not that great in Buffalo. I said they were not that great at the Anchor Bar. To me, wings are wings. They come one of two ways. You got to have a substantial. You can't have a little tiny. That's bullshit. But as long as you're a decent sized drummy, they come one of two ways. They come fried or not fried. The sauces are very similar. I just don't find a great distinction in the wings. That's why I talked about the place in Kansas City called the Peanut that has their gigantic wings. They're the drummy and the wing part attached, and every one of them comes like that. So they're very good.
There are some places up there that char grill them as well too.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. You put them on the grill. So there's a third way to go. I could get behind that, but
and not fried is not good. I can't get it. Too many people bake their wings now, and it's just ridiculous.
We've smoked them before. You put them in a smoker?
Smoking them is okay, but I mean baking them in like your oven or whatever.
Oh,
like why?
I can't get behind that. Flat or drum? Drumettes all day.
Yeah, we call them clubs, but same thing. Yeah,
I find it too much work. To be honest with you, I'd rather have thighs. I'm just gonna take a controversial position here. Thighs have more meat on them. It's you got great bites of dark meat there. I love the sauces. I love different kind of sauces. I love going to Buffalo Wild Wings where they've got 85 different kinds of sauces you can try and shit. I know. Don't roll your eyes, fucking Buffalo guy. I know. I get it. But
yeah, I like going to Kansas City barbecue.
What? Go ahead.
Same concept. People would be pissed off if you said, yeah, I went to Kansas City barbecue for barbecue. You don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings for wings unless you're a reject and have no taste whatsoever.
Fair enough. I expected that when I signed up for that statement, so I'm okay with that.
I mean, you'd have to be. That's like being the Scott Reichel of wing places.
You can't go a day without roasting the youngster, can you?
Somebody's got to.
Some places have that GMO wings. I used to like Tyson's wing until they jumbo and too much fat. Had to stop. Even Buffalo Wild Wings went downhill. Buffalo Wild Wings definitely went downhill, Lex. No question about that. Chris would say that was a short step. I understand.
I was going to say that they didn't have much way to go down because, I mean, they already started basically at the 8th circle of hell.
Yes, we get your hate for. Of course, you're in South Carolina now, where they put coleslaw on barbecue, so I don't even want to fucking talk to you.
Yeah, but I don't do that myself.
They put that white sauce, that mayonnaise sauce there too with
the. Some places do, but the place that I go to doesn't.
What was it started at the Alabama place, the Big Bob. That was his name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember what his name is though.
Anyway, hey, don't forget to check out our deal over there at Caesars. They call it seamless transfer right there, Chris. Seamless. Because you're sniffing and to beat the band, I'm not going to make you read the promo, but it is still a great deal over there at our friends at Caesars Sportsbook. Up to a $1,100 risk-free bet, insurance, if you will, on your first play. If you got a lock you think is a great play, this is an opportunity to take advantage of that. You fund your account. It is your first deposit and first bet only, of course, that's covered. And it works just like it sounds. You make the bet, you win, you win. If you lose, Caesars will make it good for any amount up to and including $1,100. The code is ATS wins Caesar, CZR, ATS WINS CZR. You will find the link and the code in the description of today's video. So make sure you check that out. Of course, it's available only where Caesars is available, and you must be 21 to play, except for the great states of Wyoming and
New Hampshire. And Germany, where you probably only have to be 6.
Lex Steele says he used to live in North Carolina, App State, Boone, North Carolina, one of my favorite towns in America. Love Boone, North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful place.
What else is on your favorite towns list of America?
Austin, Texas. I like Boise. I'm a big fan of Boise, Idaho.
Said Columbia. No one ever until today.
It's a great town. Great town. I'm just trying to think of because everybody I like New York and I like Los Angeles. I'm trying to think of little out of the way places. I know I'm biased. I like Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, that's not biased at all.
A lot of I like a lot of college towns. I like the vibe. There's usually cheap eats available there, with a wide variety of stuff. So I like places that have cool people, and I like places that have good restaurants and shit to see. A lot of stuff in the South. People in the South were fantastic when I traveled the South, and there was always something historical to see, usually Civil War related. And I'm a big Civil War guy.
Of course, now they're trying to take down half the statues of all those people.
You know what? I can see both sides of that. I really can. I get it. I get the comparison. You don't see many statues of the losing side of wars in other countries very often, but I understand living in the South and knowing a lot of people, my family, and from the South. I understand their rationale and their thinking behind the Civil War and all that. So I'm not going to wade into a political discussion. You can't reel me in, buddy.
Oh, I wasn't trying to. I'm just saying that's what they're doing down here. It's every time you watch the news, that they're always talking about doing something else.
Well, since you kind of put me on the spot, what do you feel about that?
I mean, it's part of history to me. You know, I mean, every time you hear somebody talk about it, you always hear the South is going to rise again. Well, who cares?
No, they're not.
But I mean, like it or not, it's part of history, and I think to take away that stuff takes away from what made the South what it is, for better or worse. You know.
Okay.
I mean, you can't really whitewash over history.
You can't, but I mean, you know, we fought World War II. You don't see statues of Hitler and Mussolini up in Ohio.
Well, no, but they weren't from Ohio either.
Okay. But I mean, you don't see them in their respective countries either.
Well, but I'm just saying, you know,
I think you'd be hard pressed to find a parallel.
I'm just saying, trying to take down Robert E. Lee's statue and stuff like that doesn't necessarily, you know, he represented the South for as well as he could for what he had to work with. But I mean, I can see, you know, talking about the Confederate flag and everything else because of all the issues that had. But those individuals were part of the fabric of what that was.
I get it. Like I said, I see both sides.
I do too. It just seems weird though to me. Well, I mean, you don't see anybody talking up north about how they're going to take down, you know, a tribute to William McKinley or anybody else, you know.
Well, you know, we've got some Confederate stuff here in Missouri and Kansas City as well, and there's been a little bit of hubbub. I don't give a fuck if my theory is we've got more important shit to worry about. So we got other things we need to fix first. So Lex says that he likes Vegas and what was the other? Oh, NOLA.
You ever been to New Orleans, Scott?
Oh yeah. I don't like New Orleans. It's I like the city. I like it in general. I like the fact you can get liquor and you can get drinks to go in the drive-through. I used to do a joke in New Orleans about I had got pulled over by a cop, and he came with my car, and I was all worried. And he said, "Here, you forgot your drink." So I get it. It's just I don't like the voodoo vibe there, dude. I'm a little. Every once in a while, I'm kind of a vibe person, and New Orleans with all the old French voodoo shit, it's just a freaky town to me. I've probably been there 5 or 6 times, but I like the parties there. But the overall weirdness of the vibe is just I don't know. It's hard to describe. I know you people are gonna make fun of me. Don't care. It's just the way it is. I like. I'll tell you another time. I like Huntsville, Alabama. It's a lot of fun with the Space Center there. I like Mobile a lot on the bay there. I like all the Mississippi Gulf Coast, all those towns down there. So, all right. So, you want to go? You want to get to it, buddy? I think we've done all our plugs, all our promos, all of our wing talk, and all of our takedown statues talk. I think we've covered it.
We could talk about the pizza place. I mean, you know.
NOLA food and people and daiquiris and po' boys. Lex, I can't disagree with any of that. I like all of those things. I like the people in NOLA. It is just impossible to describe, especially when you're down.
He said, and cops on horses.
Yes, absolutely true. No, I have a hard time describing why I just don't dig the vibe in NOLA. All the people are there. The food's great. Terrific seafood. The Pat O'Briens and the Hurricanes. Yeah, a lot of fun. Those little dolls are creepy. Yes, sir. Yes, they are. Okay, let's get to it. Ryan Page is headed to the 76ers game tonight. Like their chances to even the series?
No.
You want to talk about that?
Well, we will, but I don't like their chances. They looked horrible the other night.
Yeah. You know
I
what
mean,
else?
I know they're at home and the home team has prevailed in every game in this series. I just don't know if Philadelphia has anything left.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the same thing about Memphis.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, buddy, let's kick it off. What do we got?
Yeah, let's take a look at the boring baseball slate because there's only 4 games. Well, 5 if you count the Astros Twins game that'll start later than expected because of the fact that they're making up the rest of yesterday's suspended game. So there wasn't a whole lot to choose from on the schedule tonight. So we're going to go with the Dodgers over the Phillies at Dodger Stadium. Those records are wrong because they didn't save again. I have to figure out what's going on with this program where it doesn't save half the time. But Zach Wheeler, 1-3, 4.10 ERA, 1.253 WHIP going for the Phils. Going to face Tyler Anderson, who I'm surprised he has a starting job, but I guess that's just because the Dodgers are trying to roll out whoever they want to throw multiple innings. He's 3-0, though, with a 2.78 ERA, a 9.71 WHIP, 5 walks, and 22 Ks over 22 1/3. The Phillies 7th in runs per game. They're 8th on the road in offense. But the Dodgers lead the majors with 5.14 runs a game, 5th in runs at home. They were disappointing in Pittsburgh, losing 2 of 3. Though yesterday was a battle of no-name pitchers. If you were watching that one, Petio for the Dodgers and Dylan Peters started for the Pirates and a whole bunch of bullpen guys. Pittsburgh got the win there. But the Dodgers play well at home. They're 41-10 in their last 51 as a home favorite. They are 41-10 in their last 51 at home overall. 42-12 in their last 54 at home against teams with a losing record. Phil's 3-13 in their last 16 against starters with a WHIP under 1.5. 1-8 in their last 9 against a left-handed starter. 1-5 in the last 6 meetings in LA. Ninja, I know you keep saying the Dodgers have no value, but if you looked at the schedule tonight and looked and saw that your options of games to talk about consisted of the Dodgers and the Phillies, the White Sox and the Yankees, and then the Reds, Pirates, and Royals, Rangers, you're kind of left with a limited option to work with. Scott, what say you?
Well, I understand the part about the Dodgers having no value. However, I will say this: you are rarely going to be able to catch the Dodgers at -145. So I would counter that with saying this could be one of the most valuable opportunities to take the Dodgers that you're going to have for the rest of the season. So if you like the Dodgers, if you're a believer in Tyler Anderson, or at least be a capable bridge to get the bullpen in there for the Dodgers to do their thing, -145, you, again, not going to see many prices like that on the Dodgers unless they're somehow throwing a 4 or a 5 against another team's ace. So that's my opinion on that.
I would agree with that. And, the Phillies are so up and down, it's hard to tell what you're going to get. Wheeler seems to have lost velocity off his fastball, so that should work in Los Angeles' favor as well.
Right. So, and just a quick reminder, when you're thinking about odds, if you're -200, that basically means you have to win 2 of the 3 games to break even. So if the Dodgers are playing better than 667 baseball, then even laying more than 200 can sometimes be a good value play.
And they're 20-9,
so they're actually a game above that, right?
Yep. Yeah. And at home they're 10-2.
There you go. So that would be implied -450, right?
Give or take, yeah.
Okay. So that would be my counter argument to the Dodgers don't have value. I mean, sometimes laying a big price can still be the best play and be a plus EV play, but you've got to pick your spots. You just can't randomly throw -240 at shit and expect to make a profit. But the Dodgers, generally speaking, are profitable on the money line, even as outrageous as it is.
And that takes us to the other unexciting game of the night, the White Sox and the Yankees. The Yankees are throwing Luis Gil, who did not pitch yet this season in the majors. He was 1-1, the 3.07 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP, 19 walks, 38 strikeouts, and 29 1/3 in 6 starts last year. He's going to face Dylan Cease, who's pitched pretty well. 3-1, a 2.38 ERA, a 1 WHIP, 13 walks, 47 punch-outs, and 34 innings. Scott.
Just
The
second,
Yankees
buddy.
have.
I got
What's
to
that?
double.
Why did they switch something on me?
Yeah, because I was looking at that last night for a farm, and I saw Velasquez. Let me.
See, I saw Velasquez was supposed to go tomorrow.
Okay, well, let me double check and see what it says.
Yeah, MLB probables.
They've got it back to cease. Okay, cool. Damn it. All right, yeah, because I was looking at that last night, and Scott like, oh, you like Velasquez? I go, no, I like cease. And I looked at it, and sure as shit, it said Velasquez. So now they've changed it back. So
yeah, I think they bumped Velasquez to tomorrow.
All right. God damn it. All right. Well, we like that as a farm too. we've got another farm, but that'd be our silver medal farm play right there. So yes, go ahead for all the, yeah.
Velasquez is going against Cole tomorrow, so I guess the White Sox are punting tomorrow.
I'll tell you what else I like there. I like the under in this game. That's what we were looking at.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
The White Sox don't score much. 25th in the majors in runs per game at 352. They're 23rd at home. The Yankees have been good offensively, but Cease can strike some guys out. Like I said, 47 whiffs in 34 innings, and they played well of late. They had won 7 of their last 8 before yesterday's game was postponed due to COVID issues with the Guardians. 7-1 in their last 8 on grass, 6-1 in their last 7 as a favorite, 6-1 in their last 7 against a right-handed starter. I don't know what to expect from Gil at this point. Like I said, he hasn't pitched in the majors this season. He made only 6 starts last year. He walked a bunch of guys. 19 walks in 29 and a third at the major league level last season. To see what he did in the minors so far this year, he is good God, 0-3 with a 9.53 ERA. At 1.765 whip, 12 walks and 25 strikeouts in 17 innings.
Got him right where he wants him.
That's a good old Scranton WB of the International League.
Somebody bring that guy up. He's ready.
Yeah. That makes me feel better about the White Sox now and their lack of offense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I didn't know his numbers were in the minors were that bad. Like I said, I hadn't taken the next step. I just threw it out for farm, so I hadn't done the minor league research. That's it's a good tidbit of information, and it also shows that they're maybe a little bit of value there on the White Sox. Although that price has kind of skyrocketed. I know it was what was it open at like minus 125, minus 120?
Yeah, it's listed as opening at 128.
Okay, yeah, so it's up to minus 143. So you've lost almost 10% of the value there.
Yeah. I wonder what it was when they put Velasquez on there. What it would switch to?
I don't know. I don't know. Because when I was looking, it was pulled off the board. So, and I'm sure what happened is they had Velasquez slotted to go on Thursday, and then they canceled the Wednesday game, and Cease just got bumped, just like you said.
Well, no, he was slotted to go yesterday. It's supposed to be Velasquez and Savali yesterday.
Oh, so they bumped. They bumped Velasquez.
They just kicked him back another day. They're like, well, fuck it, we're not going to pitch him tomorrow. We'll pitch him Friday.
So they kept Cease in his regular spot,
right?
Move Velasquez. Okay, I got you. All right, bud. I'm a fan. At minus 145. That's getting close to the borderline of the value for me. But
yeah,
they must see something in Gil they like. He must be doing something they think they can correct, or maybe they had him working on something in the minors.
Or do you think it's because they had that double header on Sunday, so they had to chew up arms?
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I just I can find it hard to believe there's nobody with better stats in Scranton than that.
In good old Scranton WB.
Yeah, there must. Although I will say this, that sets up just like one of those games where you think you've got an angle. You're like, oh, this guy didn't pitch in the majors. He's been shitty in the minors. They're gonna just beat the shit out of him, and then he comes in there and throws, six gives up 1 run, 3 hits, that kind of shit. I've definitely seen that before.
Yeah, they've got a couple of guys down there that are probably better. Wesniewski is 0-4, but he's got a 2.48 ERA at 6 starts.
Okay.
I'm surprised they didn't call him up.
Yeah, I get you.
But hey, what can you do, right?
Right. Okay, cool. What do we got? What else we got?
Now we get to go to the ice.
Oh, I'm excited. It's hot.
I can tell.
It's hot here. Get some ice out.
And we got the Blues and the Wild again.
Okay.
We saw we told you the Blues were going to to take them the other day when they were an underdog in Minnesota. They trailed 2-0 early, came back to win 5-2 to go up 3-2 in the series. And it seems like they've turned things around now with Jordan Binnington in net. He's won the last 2 starts.
Going to make another run. Ready for another run.
So, of course, Craig Berube, he actually, shook off the concussions from all the fights he used to have when he played in the 80s and 90s and decided that he was actually going to stick with the hot goaltender. Binnington and Marc-Andre Fleury for Minnesota. The Blues averaging three goals a game here, giving up 3.4, giving up 3.25. Minnesota averaging just 3 goals a game. St. Louis, they've had a lot of good success against Minnesota in the last few years. 8-1 in their last 9 after giving up 2 or less. They're 11-3 in their last 14 after a win. They've gone 15-5 in their last 20 overall, going back to the regular season. Minnesota, they play well in the regular season. They're allergic to winning in the playoffs. 4-12 in their last 16 games in the first round. They're 5-16 in the last 21 meetings with the Blues, and they've lost 8 of the last 9 in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center, or the Kiel Center, or the Checker Dome, or the St. Louis Arena, or insert name here. Good seats still available. I'm going to take the Blues to close this one out. I know it's going to be tough, but they've got momentum right now, and that's what drives you in the postseason.
Well, as we've talked before, this is not the sport that is my number one as far as betting on it, but I have learned a few things. One of the things I have learned, don't fade a hot goaltender. Binnington's giving up just 2 goals in his last 2 games. I'm not stepping in front of this. We've seen this movie before. We've seen this kid put a team on his back and lead him to a Stanley Cup. I'm not predicting necessarily a cup again this year. That could be a tall order, but I am predicting a victory here as they close out the Wild.
Ninja wants to know, he said, did you stop doing the live stream show late at night?
Yes. The reason was we were having trouble getting it posted later after the live recording is over. So in other words, you could watch it live and maybe even be up there for an hour or so, and then it would go down and it wouldn't come back till like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I know from my analytics that a lot of people get up and they turn on the show early in the morning, listen to it or whatever as they get ready or on their way to work in the car. I don't really know, but I know that was one of the most popular times to get listens, and for it not to be posted during those times was frustrating both for the viewers and for us, who obviously the name of the game is to get as many views as possible. So that's why we went back to a pre-recorded format. I love doing that late at night. It was a lot of fun. I just keep the lights off. We'd have like late nights with the steamroller. And it was kind of fun. It turned my 6-minute show into a half an hour a couple of different times. So other than the odd comment that say your show's 30 minutes long, it was a lot of fun. So, but yes, that's why we stopped doing it. Hopefully, maybe with the new platform, fingers crossed, we might be able to go back to doing it live again and then actually have it post. So that'd be cool.
Did they ever figure out why the videos were disappearing with the shows and everything?
Apparently, Jim has gotten to the bottom of that with YouTube, and it's supposedly the situation is better, but we're not rocking the boat.
Works for me.
Okay.
And now we got the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Talk about a series where the home team has won every game. That's where we are here, where Carolina owns a 3-2 series lead. They won 5-1 on Tuesday. I'm looking for Boston to keep that trend going and keeping that series moving on to a Game 7. Boston does not want to see probably what could be the end of the Patrice Bergeron era on home ice. Antti Ranta starting against Jeremy Swayman. The Hurricanes averaging 3.8 goals per game in the playoffs, giving up 2.6. But Boston plays well on home ice. And here's an interesting thing for you about this, Scott. I've read an article where Bruce Cassidy said that, he was going to start Swayman because, he can make those clutch saves. And if we get to, quote, one of those 2-1 playoff hockey games, I got news for you, Bruce. There hasn't been much in the way of a 2-1 hockey game in the playoffs unless you're the Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars.
Well, and every game in this series has been decided by 2 goals or more. There have not been any, not a 4-3 game, not a 5-4, not a 3-2, nothing. They've all been decided by 2 or more goals.
It's all been 5-1 or 5-2 or
the goaltending for Carolina on the road and at home is just so dramatically different. In the 2 road games, they've given up 9. 4 home games, they've given up 4. So you're giving up 4.5 on the road and 1 1/3 at home. That definitely speaks volumes.
Do you think some of that factors into feeding off the crowd, or is it just that Carolina, forgets how to play hockey when they're away from the PNC Arena?
I think it has to do with all the regular factors that go into being the home team. I think it has to do with the crowd. I think it has to do with being the familiarity with everything, being in a more recognizable routine, sleeping in your own bed, all that stuff. I don't think at the end of the day, I think if you play this series 82 games like you would a regular season, I don't think you have that I don't think you have a 3-goal disparity home and away at the end of that 82 games. But for now, there's no question that for whatever reason, the goaltending and or the defense hasn't been up to snuff on the road. I like this Carolina team. I think they can make some noise, but they have not played well on the road at all yet.
And the thing that scares me about Carolina is they have, for whatever it is, and we've seen it happen with teams before, where a certain team has their number. We saw it with anybody that played the Celtics in the 60s and stuff like that, or where you get ahead of a team and then all of a sudden doubt creeps in. And Carolina's been knocked out of the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years by this Bruins team, and they struggle playing in Boston. They're 3-11 in the last 14 meetings up there. That's one of the things that concerns me. If Carolina loses Game 6 and goes back home, can we expect them to flip the switch again? Or is the doubt of saying, well, we had them on the ropes, and, like Duke says in Rocky 2, I saw you beat that man like you beat no man before, and the man kept coming after you. I mean, is that in Carolina's head if they lose Game 6?
I think it is. I think it creeps in. I'm not sure if it's enough of a factor to keep us from picking them in Game 7 if it goes back to Carolina. But I guarantee you, this narrative that you hear every once in a while from talking heads and blowhards like us that get up there.
Hey, we're not David Byrne, damn it.
And get up there and say things like, well, they're not going to worry about Game 6 because they know they're going back home and they have the advantage there. That's bullshit. These teams want to end this shit as soon as possible. They don't want to have it come down to a Game 7 where you could have a bad break, a lucky call, any one of a million factors that could favor the outcome of that game. They don't want to leave it to chance. They want to get it done as soon as possible. They want to get the extra rest. There is no validity to that narrative of anyone that says, well, they're not worried about Game 6 because they know they're going home for Game 7. That's bullshit.
And I agree with you. And 2 easy cases in point of that. The 86 Smythe Division Finals, the Oilers were 2-time defending champs, went to Game 7 against Calgary. Steve Smith passed the puck back. It bounced off Grant Fuhr's skate into the net in the third period. Proved to be the decisive goal in the series, knocked the Oilers out of the playoffs. And in '93, in the Western Conference Finals, Doug Gilmour was clipped by a stick by Wayne Gretzky. Should have been a double minor because he drew blood. Kerry Frazier didn't see it. Gretzky goes the other way and scores later in the period to win that game, and then they won Game 7. So, yeah, the last thing you want to say is, yeah, well, we don't care about this game because we know we've got home ice advantage in Game 7. Doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yep. Totally agree. All right, buddy. So we're going to ride the home team again here at a decent price, -125.
Yeah, like you said, with the way that all these games have been decided, the money line could be pretty too at +2 bills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean the puck line, but yeah, there hasn't been a 1-goal game in the first 5 games of this series. So again, I like Carolina better. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but you have to ride that trend and you have to back the teams. It's been a home series all the way through.
And like Scott said, the Bruins power play has been a lot better at home than it has been on the road in this series.
Yep. Very good.
So now that takes us to the NBA.
Which, real quick, that brings up another factor in home team and home ice is the home teams generally get more favorable calls.
Well, and let's not overlook the fact that you also get the last line change at home too.
Right.
So, if the other team is rolling out their third or fourth line guys, you can put your top line out there and take advantage of it.
Yep.
Or you can put your checking line out against their top line to shut them down.
Yep. Very true. Very true. So, all right. Roll on, Big Daddy.
All right, here we are, Game 6 of the 76ers and the Heat. Now, back before the playoffs started, my esteemed colleague here said that the Heat were the team 1 or 1A in the Eastern Conference.
Correct.
They now hold a 3-2 series lead. They blew out the 76ers in Game 5. Ninja, when it comes to Tampa Bay, I don't talk about the Lightning and the Maple Leafs because I'm not getting into a game where I have to talk about a team that I like. I think it's going to be interesting. I think Tampa Bay probably has the upper hand, but I'm going to tell you that as a Leafs fan, I don't want to see that series go to a Game 7 if I can help it. Because like Scott just said, anything can happen in a Game 7. Now, Tampa Bay's played well at home. I mean, they lost Game 3, but they won Game 4 convincingly. The question is, who shows up and who doesn't? And that's what it's going to boil down to. And the same concept boils down to that. You know, Tampa Bay hasn't lost 2 back-to-back games in the postseason in 3 years. So, I mean, they've got that going for them. They've got home ice going for them.
Vasilevsky is an absolute monster off a loss in the playoffs.
This is true.
Just saying. Somebody asking you about the Astros. I like them in the first game.
Yeah, well, they're up 11-2 now.
Like I said, I like them in the first game.
I think I like them in the second game. I think it's is it Garcia going against Winder?
Yep, is Garcia against Winder. Winder going to be an opener?
Is Winder an opener? No, he's gone 6 in each of his last 2 starts.
All right, I guess I'm getting confused with Wisner.
Oh yeah, Whistler from Tampa Bay.
Whistler, yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry.
Whistler.
He's been good.
Winder's pitched well in his last 2.
One earned in 12 innings. No earned in 12 innings. 1 run total.
Yeah.
5 hits. Yeah. I'm a fan.
But Garcia's been good too. He's given up 4 runs in his last 2 over 13 innings.
Well, I had the under in the first game and got smoked. That was a premium play, by the way. So I would say under, but again, I don't hate Minnesota there, bud. I really don't. Minnesota at a plus price.
The tough part is determining what Minnesota is going to do at the plate at any given day because they're another one of those teams that's streaky offensively.
Now,
so it's gonna be interesting.
Are you a fan? Do you bet if in other words because the majority of doubleheaders are split,
right?
If Team A wins the first game, do you automatically bet Team B?
I think you can lean towards Team B, but in this case, you have to wonder how much in Team B, in this case Minnesota, is going to have in their bullpen, since they had to go and pull guys because of the fact the game was suspended. Let's see, who have they thrown so far? I'm just looking to see who they've used up. Okay, Abreu threw 2 innings. No, that's Houston. Never mind. Cano. Who the hell is Cano? And then Stashak has thrown an inning and a third. So at least they're not using all their big value arms.
No, well,
you don't have Duran out there yet, or
Archer went out there and sucked, and
which is what we said was going to happen.
Yeah, that was pretty much the end of that. I might have been a bit more of a believer on the Archer train because it looked like he had turned things around this season, and plus these two teams had really kind of had a tough time scoring runs. But Urquidy was good. I wonder if did Urquidy get hurt? Did you see that? He only went 3 innings, gave up 1 and threw 44 pitches. That sounds like an injury to me. I have to look that up. I was not watching that game. You there? I got no audio from you, Chris.
My bad.
Yeah, did you find the mute button?
Yeah, I found it.
Good job.
I'm not going to apologize for being a Leafs fan. I'd rather be a fan of a team for an extended period of time, whether they struggle or not, than be somebody that jumps from team to team just because of recent success. And that's something that we see all too often in sports now. That's why, I like to say I don't have any room for bandwagoners, and there's a lot of those when it comes to sports. My brother used to do it all the time. He jumped on the 49ers in the late 80s and early 90s, and, the Red Wings in the 90s. And, he liked LeBron when after he left Cleveland, and now, then we went back to Cleveland. He didn't like him as much. So, and you could say, as far as a team choking, you could say that about any team. Look at the Oilers. Look at the Houston Oilers. Look at, insert any team you want. At some point, they've inevitably choked at some point in their playoff history. Look at the Red Sox. You could say the Yankees choked in 1960 when Bill Mazeroski hit a walk-off homer in Game 7.
The Yankees choked after being up 3-0 to Boston.
Yeah, that too. Steehn will tell you that the Chiefs choked with that playoff game against the Colts.
Yeah, dreadful.
So, I mean, it happens to everyone. It doesn't take away whether you're a fan of that team or not just because they do or don't have success. I mean, that's the true measure of a fan, is if you stick with that team regardless. And I've lived in Seattle, so I know what Mariners fans go through. I was there when they won 116 games and then proceeded to lose to the Yankees. I was there when they won the wild card game when Mark Langston was pitching and all those guys. I was there when Randy Johnson was there. I was there when Randy Johnson got traded. I was there when Randy Johnson came back and pitched at Safeco Field in the first series that was there in '99.
Okay.
So all that good stuff.
Chris, you got him lit up. You got the king lit up right there, man.
Well, I mean, it's tough because, when you talk about teams choking, I mean, it's not so much that you choke. If you get beat by a team that played better than you on a given night, then, that's not necessarily a choke.
I don't know who used to say it, but I know there was an NFL coach that used to say, those guys over there are getting paid money too.
Exactly.
So anyway,
that's a valid point.
You like you like the Heat here? You think the Sixers are done with the Phantom of the Spectrum? I know they don't play the Spectrum anymore.
That's a good way to call it, though. The Phantom of the Spectrum. I like that.
Where do they play? Where's the Sixers?
The Wells Fargo Center.
Wells Fargo Center. That's right. The fan just doesn't have the same. Doesn't have the same roll off your tongue.
Yeah, so we're just gonna call it the Spectrum anyway.
The Phantom of the Spectrum, sure. You think this Philadelphia team is finished, buddy?
I do. I mean, look how they almost looked disinterested the other night after they got behind. I mean, they had all the momentum after winning games 3 and 4, and they just flat out sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think they have anything left in the tank at this point?
You know what?
I know you said we were talking about in the pre-show that we thought that about Memphis.
Right. Yeah,
but this isn't Memphis.
I understand. They are at home. As much as I like Miami here, buddy, and I like them getting points, I think this could be a bit of an okie doke. The home teams have dominated in the NBA playoffs.
Unless you're the Celtics.
Unless you're the Celtics for whatever reason. But no, we saw this team get beat by 35 the other night?
Yep. Embiid and Thibault are both listed as questionable for the 76ers. Lowry's not going to play, but that's probably addition by subtraction for the Heat.
Yeah, everybody else is Lowry's out. Hero's probable. Embiid is now questionable. I mean, right. is now probable. Sorry.
Oh, they moved him up. Okay. The NBA, the league injury report still listed as questionable.
He's going. Thibault is still questionable. However, as is Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe's only playing if the game's 30 points one way or the other.
I will take Miami here plus the 2.5. I think they're the better team. I think their health is better. However, I will say this: I'll be watching this for live opportunities on the Sixers if I think they show a pulse. I think if the Sixers don't get down early, I have a hunch they can keep it close.
But keeping it close is one thing. I mean, they're the favorite.
Well, you don't know what's going to hit. You don't know what's going to happen in scramble points. But I'm going to say
that's true.
I'm going to say they'll be within 4 points in the last half of the fourth quarter. With 6 minutes to go, they'll be within 4, or they'll be within it. I mean, I'll even go more out on one. They'll be within 1 score. They'll be within 3. That's
Okay.
if they can keep it close. If Miami gets up early, because this 76ers team, you touched on it, they do have some quit in them. So if they get punched in the mouth, they may not get off the mat. So the key
They
for
may
them,
roll over and die.
the key for this team is to get out to a quick start and be competitive early. Keep everybody engaged.
Do you have faith in anybody outside of Embiid to score?
No, that was my problem with Philly. That's one of the reasons I picked Miami to get to take the East, because I liked their path.
Okay.
I just think this Philadelphia team is too one-dimensional, and it's anybody's guess what percentage Embiid is at with his various ailments.
I mean, wouldn't you say like 60 might be tops?
Maybe. I don't know how much, as a layman who doesn't make a living shooting a basketball, but I've had fucking sprained digits before and tried to do things. I can't even fucking imagine what it's like trying to play against those guys at an elite level with torn ligaments in your thumb. That's not just a sprain. You've pretty much got to keep it immobile, right?
Right.
I haven't seen shots of him. Does he have it splinted up? What does he have?
I think it's taped up and everything. I don't know if he's got a splint on it or not.
Not a splint. Yeah, but it would be tape, I guess, at this point. But
James brings up a valid point. Would it be a good look ahead spot? Say Philadelphia wins in 7 games. Do you give them any prayer against either Milwaukee or Boston in the next round?
No, but obviously my opinion means nothing because I gave him no fucking prayer against Miami.
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about it. If they were to limp past Miami, so say they go 7 games and get past Miami,
right?
If the Bucks get Middleton back, which you would think they would for the conference finals,
right?
And knowing that Embiid is at best, and we're guessing ourselves, 60-65%,
right?
How are they going to beat Milwaukee?
I get that. And my question that I would turn around to you is, would you trust anybody that told you they didn't have a chance against Philadelphia if they told you they didn't have a chance against Milwaukee? I get it. On paper, no, absolutely not. Milwaukee would be unlucky to lose 2 games of that series. It should go 4 or 5. But in reality, there's something about this Sixers team. They've shown an ability to play together as a team when you least expect it throughout the season. So, no, I don't expect them to get there. I wouldn't expect them to win. And yet this series has been fraught with things I didn't expect to happen. So,
well, we didn't expect Embiid to be back in Game 3 for starters.
Well, that's very true as well. All right, bud, we got about 7 minutes. We got to rock and roll here.
I'm taking the Suns over the Mavs. We talked about teams quitting, and it looked like Dallas quit in Game 5. I mean, it was close for a while, and then Phoenix just flexed their muscles. And Reichel said that Dallas looked like a team, like a major league hitter that's focused on launch angle.
Yep.
They don't focus on doing it about the shot selection or anything else. They just like firing up threes.
Yep.
And if they don't go in, it's a rough night.
Indeed, it is.
I just don't know if they can do it out there again.
Yeah, this is a game where I talked about this game where Phoenix appears to have made the adjustments, because Dallas, on the defensive side, they seem to have really sold out to stop Chris Paul.
Yep.
So they said, okay, we're going to stop Chris Paul. Chris Paul said, okay, well, first 2 games that happened, it was in Dallas. He scored 12 points. He scored 5 points. Dallas wins them both, 1 by 9, 1 by 10. Okay, cool. So Phoenix said, well, you know what? You're going to do that. We're going to just fucking jam the shit out of you inside. We're going to just turn Ayton loose on you. Ayton goes 9 for 13, most of them from point blank range. He puts in 20, and Ingram does. The rest of the team does their thing. They feed the ball. Chris Paul gets 10 assists, and
Devin Booker put up his points.
And Devin Booker did his thing, and Dallas has no answer. Dallas, they're led in rebounds by Doncic. At 6'7", officially listed as a point guard.
Right.
You can't compete against Ayton with that kind of inside pressure.
Yeah, and Dwight Powell is not physical enough to contain Ayton in the block either.
Dwight Powell, I think they put him in there just to jump center and to start the game.
It seems like it because he doesn't do anything. You look
That's
at
what
the
I'm
stat
saying.
line after he's 0 for 1 in 20 some minutes and gets like 3 rebounds.
Yeah, he's been awful. So yeah, I got this. I got the Suns here too. That's my play of the day. I'm a fan of this.
There you go. It's his play of the day, folks.
That's right.
And you could win a brand new used toaster and a year's supply of turtle wax just for signing up for Scott's play of the day. Back to you, Scott.
Yeah. What else you got? Hey, let's do some parlays.
All right.
Got a 2-teamer?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers and the White Sox in one, and I'm going to take the Heat and the Bruins in the other ones. We talked about these games already, so it makes it that much easier to make life easy for everybody.
All right, very good. Get your cameras out. Take that screenshot. Okay, got it. All right, there you go. All right, moving on.
I'm actually looking for Brunson to go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If Dallas is going to stay in this game, he's going to have to do something.
Okay, stepped up last time. Had a decent night last time, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Ninja said if they have a prop for Powell, he'll take the under.
Yes, whatever it is, whatever category.
Unless it's fouls, he might go over on that.
Certainly possible, but yeah, that's
all right, Preston. Just for you, we'll throw in that free oven mitt.
I'm not even,
but only if you call in the next 5 minutes.
I'm not even sure. By the way, the newest scam on that is that you can get a second one absolutely free. Just pay regular cost
and handling.
So
at $99.95,
or just pay a separate fee is what they call it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't even know what the fuck that means. So yeah, I like that. I like that Brunson prop. I think if you could parlay it with a Mavs to win, something like that, I think you'd be in good shape. Brunson had what do you have the other night? He had 21 the other night.
Yeah,
7 rebounds. So he goes 30 the other night. So,
and I'm going to take the Blues over the Wild. I just think that, like we said, Bennington's the hot goaltender right now.
Yep.
Embiid over 25.5 points because who the hell else is going to score?
I understand, but not him. Nope. Don't like that. Go ahead.
And the Suns over the Mavs.
Yes. Agreed. All right. Very good. And shot in the dark when you're to blame. Let's do it.
The Reds and the Pirates to go over 8. I mean, the Reds are, 29-2 to the over this season. Did you see that game yesterday? 14-11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vladimir Gutierrez did not get the win.
I can't believe they missed the field goal late.
I know. It was just
tied it up. Very good. You like the Astros there. By the way, that's game 1, everybody. Game 1. No, we're kidding. It's game 2.
I had them in game 1 yesterday, but
it's game 2 of that set.
Oh, and Marlo said, just in case we can't all get All-Star game tickets, don't worry. The Reds play the Pirates the next 4 days. Good seats still available.
Yeah, no shit.
Buy 1, get 3 free.
That's the old joke. First prize is 2 tickets. Second prize is 4 tickets.
Yeah, the one that people always say about the Sabres now is somebody saw 2 tickets in a car.
Look into the car and left 4.
Yeah, smashed the window and left 2 more.
Pirates over the Reds because
I hate this one, but it's JT Brubaker again.
Welcome to Niners versus favorite plays and the Pirates
against Connor Rich Chocolate Overton taking them out for the Reds. As much as it pains Scott, I'm going to take the Rangers over the Royals. Even Scott said he wasn't sold on John Heasley pitching today for Kansas City. That is who's going.
In the battle of who is this guy again?
Yeah, Taylor Hearn going for the Rangers.
Take the oh my God, take the under in attendance. That's what I would do there.
I was going to say take the over in runs because of the fact that neither of these guys could pitch worth a damn.
Yeah, I think that's and you see a lot of teams come up. This guy makes his major league debut. He comes in, he's really good, and he just shuts. They don't have the book on him. They don't have film on him, so he mows them down. That's not generally the case with Royals pitchers. I'm just saying that's not generally what happens when they come up for their first appearance.
His major league debut.
Yeah, no, that's what happens.
Just a bit outside.
The Royals are notoriously bad against those guys, but they don't seem to have great premieres with their own pitchers. So,
yeah, I'm going to look. Are you looking for the Heat?
I want no part of laying 140 with the Rangers. Not one.
Are you looking for the Heat and Sixers to go under the number?
Yes.
And the Mavs and Suns.
Less yes, but still yes.
I also look for Tyler Hero to go over 15.5.
Okay. Give me your logic there.
Well, I mean, Miami's got to have a secondary scoring option for
Okay.
starters. Hero's been good in the playoffs. You look at in the games here. Last game he had, he always had 10 in the last one, but he only played 22 minutes because they were ahead so far.
Right.
He had 14 in the blowout win in game 3. He had 18 in game 2, 25 in game 1, 16 in the clincher against the Hawks. I think they're going to try to shut down Jimmy Butler, and it means somebody else is going to have to step up.
Okay. I'm holding out for a Hero. Very good. Over 6 in the Bruins Hurricanes game.
Yeah, Hurricanes Bruins over 6.
Okay.
Because every game has gotten to 6 at least.
Wild Blues
over 6.5.
Okay.
And Kings Oilers over 6.5. I didn't pick this game because Darnell Nurse is suspended for the Oilers because he headbutted Philip Daniel the other day. Takes one of their big defensemen out. Makes it even tougher for the Oilers because that means they got to play another shitty guy that will end up putting the puck up the middle and giving up free goals.
Explain how we get home with the Wild and the Blues with Bennington having a great night.
Empty netters.
Okay.
I mean, that's how we got there the other day. Tarasenko hit the empty net to make it 5-2.
So you're looking at a 4-2 game, or it's a closeout game, so it could even be a 4-1, or it could be a 4-1 game where they pull the goalie with 7 minutes left or something.
Yeah.
So okay, you could see 2 empty netters in that one. Okay, all right, very good. The NHL version of scramble points, by the way, if you're basketball.
Pretty much, yeah. Garbage time.
All right, very good, guys. Anything else, Chris?
No, that'll do it. I mean, thanks for bearing with me with these stupid allergies. You got to love the way the pollen is down here where everything turns yellow.
Go take some Benadryl, go to sleep.
I would, except I still have to do work.
Probably not on your agenda for the afternoon.
No, unfortunately.
All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for joining us today. As always, we appreciate you stopping by to find out the very best and the very latest in parlays. Don't forget to stay tuned as Scott and I will do our thing on Back to the Window. Of course, tomorrow is NASCAR Day, as we have a special guest in. We have Rye Cape in. You can follow him at Rye Cape, WRICAPE. He is a NASCAR dude. He is a guru of NASCAR, and we're going to have some fun with him. So check out our NASCAR.
Hey, he's not gonna mess up our flow, is he? By trying to pick winners and shit.
Yeah, kind of fuck up the whole theme of our show and start.
We don't need that shit coming up.
Bringing knowledge and winners to it. So
what's up with that?
Check out the NASCAR show tomorrow. As my boss went, you guys ever thought about having an expert on? Some of those questions, the answer when they ask it, and that was one of them. So, no, he's a good dude. I've talked to him on Twitter. We've had some fun, and it's going to be a blast to have him on. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I'll be right back here after a quick word from our sponsor,
beer,
to do the second half of my day. Chris, as always, thanks very much. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, as Chris and I will once again talk about everything under the sun. And Chris, what else?
Just parlays.
Just parlays. That's right. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow.